The sun had barely risen over the horizon, casting long shadows over the empty track. The chirping of the early birds and the distant hum of traffic were the only sounds in the silence of the morning. On the track, in a stride full of purpose and grace, ran Isabelle, a rising star in the world of heptathlon. Every morning, as the world around her was still rubbing sleep from its eyes, Isabelle was on the track, each footfall a step closer to her dream, the Olympics. With 7 events to master, the heptathlon was not for the faint of heart. It demanded not just speed, strength, and agility, but an unwavering dedication and a spirit that refused to yield. Isabelle's training regimen was grueling. Her day began with an intense session of sprints, designed to enhance her speed for the 200 meters and 800 meters races. As she ran, she could feel the wind against her face, the burning sensation in her muscles, and the rhythmic pounding of her heart. The sensation was both painful and invigorating. Every sprint was a mental battle, pushing her boundaries, forcing her to question her limits and then defy them. By mid-morning, it was time for hurdles. The 100 meters hurdles were a test of speed and technique. She practiced her start, focusing on exploding off the blocks. Approaching each hurdle, she'd remind herself to keep her center of gravity low, driving her lead leg over the obstacle and snapping her trail leg quickly. With every repetition, she aimed for fluidity and efficiency, knowing that even a microsecond saved could make the difference on the big stage. In the afternoon, Isabelle moved on to the field events. The shot put and javelin required a combination of technique and raw power. She often marveled at the paradox of the events, how the delicate balance between strength and finesse could result in such spectacular distances. With the coach's guidance, she honed her technique, focusing on the angle of release and the momentum of her approach. High jump and long jump were next. The 2 events were a testament to her agility and explosive power. The rush she felt when launching herself into the air, whether to clear a bar or to land as far from the takeoff board as possible, was unparalleled. Each leap, each landing, and every minute adjustment she made in the air were meticulously analyzed, seeking perfection. By the time evening approached, Isabelle shifted to the 800 meters, the most grueling of all her events. It was a test of endurance, of pushing her body when it screamed for rest. It wasn't just about speed, it was about strategy. Knowing when to conserve energy and when to unleash her final kick was crucial. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of gold and purple, Isabelle finished her last lap. Her body ached, sweat dripped from her brow, and her lungs gasped for air. Yet, there was a gleam in her eye, a fire that spoke of determination and dreams. The track, the sandpit, the hurdles, they had all borne witness to her journey, her sacrifices, and her unwavering commitment. Each day was a repetition of the last, a relentless cycle of training, recovery, and preparation. Yet, Isabelle knew that every drop of sweat, every sore muscle, and every moment of exhaustion would be worth it when she stood at the starting line at the Olympics. And as the days turned to weeks and weeks to months, the Olympics loomed closer. The weight of expectations, the pressure of the spotlight, and the enormity of the stage could be overwhelming. But Isabelle was ready. She had trained, sacrificed, and dreamt of this moment for years. The world would soon witness her determination, her spirit, and her journey. The path to gold was laid out before her, and she was ready to conquer it. The Olympic Village was a whirlwind of activity. Athletes from all corners of the world, each a master in their discipline, gathered in anticipation. The air was thick with nervous energy, excitement, and the shared understanding of the weight of the moment. Amidst this backdrop, Isabelle found herself, not as a mere participant but as a contender. Days before her event, Isabelle took to the Olympic track for her practice sessions. It was the same track she had seen countless times on television, where legends were made and dreams realized. As she laced up her shoes and took her first strides, she felt a strange mix of familiarity and awe. This was her domain, yet the enormity of the stage was palpable. Training at the Olympic venue was different. Every throw, jump, and sprint was under the watchful eyes of coaches, competitors, and media. There was no room for error. Isabelle, however, embraced the pressure. She fine-tuned her techniques, acclimatized to the track's feel, and adjusted to the unique rhythm of the Olympic atmosphere. As the day of the heptathlon drew near, Isabelle immersed herself in mental preparations. Visualization became a crucial part of her routine. She'd close her eyes, picturing herself flawlessly executing each event, feeling the weight of the shot put, the grip of the javelin, the rhythm of the hurdles, and the burn of the 800 meters. Each imagined success added a layer of confidence. The morning of the heptathlon dawned bright and clear. The stadium, a colossal structure, buzzed with anticipation. Thousands of spectators, armed with flags and cameras, filled the stands, creating a sea of colors and a cacophony of cheers. The first event, the 100 meters hurdles, set the tone. Isabelle exploded off the blocks, clearing each hurdle with grace and finishing strong. The scoreboard flashed her time, a personal best. The momentum carried her into the high jump, where she soared, clearing heights that once seemed out of reach. However, the heptathlon is as much about consistency as it is about peaks. A slight misstep in the shot put saw her fall in the standings. Doubt threatened to creep in, but Isabelle remembered her training, her sacrifices, and the countless hours of preparation. She wasn't here to falter, she was here to shine. The afternoon brought the 200 meters and the long jump. With each stride in the 200 meters, Isabelle seemed to fly, eating up the track, and crossing the finish line with a burst of speed that left spectators in awe. In the long jump, she hit the board perfectly, propelling herself forward and landing with a mark that challenged the leaders. As the day closed with the javelin, a throw that combined her power and technique perfectly landed her amongst the top competitors. The final standings after the first day placed Isabelle in second, a mere few points behind the leader. The gold was within reach, but she knew the hardest challenges were yet to come. That night, as the Olympic Village settled into a restless slumber, Isabelle lay in bed, replaying the day's events. She thought of the highs, the slight misstep, and the chance that awaited her on the morrow. The path to gold, she realized, wasn't just about physical prowess but mental fortitude. And as dawn broke, signaling the final day of the heptathlon, Isabelle was ready. The 800 meters awaited her, a test of endurance, strategy, and heart. The path to gold had led her to this moment, and she was determined to seize it. The final day of the heptathlon was a test of endurance, not just of the body but of the spirit. Isabelle, with the taste of gold on her lips, was a portrait of concentration and determination. The stadium, reverberating with the echoes of past legends, awaited another story to be written, another legend to be born. The 800 meters was the event that would decide it all. A middle-distance race, it required a blend of speed, stamina, and strategy. Isabelle had run this race countless times in training, but today, the stakes were different. Every step she took, every breath she drew, would contribute to her Olympic dream. As the athletes took their positions, a hush fell over the stadium. The weight of the moment, the culmination of years of training, was palpable. The starting gun sounded, its echo piercing the silence, and they were off. Isabelle started strategically, finding a comfortable pace amidst the pack. She remembered her coach's advice: conserve, then conquer. The first 400 meters was about maintaining a position, conserving energy for the explosive finish. As they completed the first lap, she was in third, the leader just a few strides ahead. The bell signaled the final lap. The crowd's roar grew deafening, every cheer pushing the athletes to dig deeper, run faster. Isabelle felt the familiar burn in her lungs, the heaviness in her legs, but she also felt an inner fire, a desire that drowned out the pain. With 300 meters to go, she made her move. Shifting gears, she surged forward, drawing level with the leader. They ran shoulder to shoulder, neither giving an inch. The final straight loomed ahead, and Isabelle summoned every ounce of strength left in her. She remembered the early mornings, the relentless training, the sacrifices she made. This was her moment. With 50 meters left, they were still neck and neck. The crowd was on its feet, the atmosphere electric. Every stride took them closer to the finish, to glory. And then, with a final burst of speed that seemed to come from deep within, Isabelle edged ahead, crossing the finish line a mere fraction of a second before her closest competitor. The stadium erupted in joy. Isabelle, gasping for breath and overwhelmed with emotion, had done it. The scoreboard confirmed it, she was the Olympic heptathlon champion. As she took her victory lap, draped in her country's flag, the weight of her achievement began to sink in. The path to gold, with its highs and lows, its challenges and triumphs, had led her to this pinnacle. Every drop of sweat, every moment of doubt, every sacrifice was worth it. That evening, as the national anthem played and the gold medal was placed around her neck, Isabelle looked up at the sky, a sea of stars twinkling back at her. She was no longer just a contender, she was an Olympic champion. The path to gold had been long and arduous, but Isabelle had conquered it, one step, one stride, one leap at a time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more stories. Until next time, take care and keep watching.